In this video, we are going to discuss changing over the watch. What are the details that you need to know if you are changing over the watch? If you are a future deck officer, or maybe you are a deck cadet right now or deck rating, what are the details that you need to know if you are going to handle the next watch? So let's get started. Okay? Prior to taking over the watch, relieving officers shall satisfy themselves as to the ship's estimated or true position and confirm its intended track, course and speed, and UMS or unmanned system controls as appropriate, and shall note any dangers to navigation expected to be encountered during the watch, probably fishing vessels or traffic. Okay? The procedure defines criteria and modalities to manage the watch handover to assure the safety of navigation. So what are the details that you need to know? Okay? Responsibility and duties for the implementation of this procedure are with master and deck officer, which is you, for checking the correct execution of the action. Number 1, every watch should be relieved before the scheduled change. Okay? Now, my advice to deck cadets, okay? Practice coming to your watch, okay? That depends on whether you are with third mate, second mate, or chief mate, but I highly recommend you go with third mate, okay? Because again, that's gonna be your next position. You always come at least 15 minutes early. Okay? 15 minutes before your watch. Let's say your watch with third mate is around 0800, or usually it's nighttime, 2000. Okay? You come 15 minutes before the time. Okay? While chief officer is still there. Okay? So again, if it's 2000 to midnight, okay, your watch is gonna be, of course, it's gonna be dark. Okay? But then again, your eyesight would adjust immediately after you go inside the bridge. Okay? At the same time, you learn along the way. Okay? You would learn easily. Okay? Because there are times that the cadet is, well, you are with your chief mate. Okay? And then all of a sudden, when they get promoted to third officer, okay, they don't know the job of a third mate. Because then again, they are with their chief mates when they were still the cadets. So do not, again, negotiate with your master or with the deck officers. Sirs, master, I do want to go with third mate because I do want to know his job. Okay, because I'm a deck cadet, I'm clueless, I don't know anything. Okay, that's one of my many recommendations. 15 minutes before the time, if it's nighttime, it's gonna be dark, at least your eyes would adjust. Okay, from the, of course, the dark area. It will take at least a minimum of 3.5 minutes before your eyesight could adjust from the dark atmosphere. Okay? Number 2, to relieve properly, the oncoming officer shall be in compliance with work hours as required by stcw, which I would discuss on another video. Complete and signed in the checklist for changing over the watch. We do have a checklist for changing over the watch, which I would also discuss on another video. Number 3, when being relieved of the watch, a deck officer shall ensure that the oncoming officer, which is you, is in compliance with OPA 90, understand the vessel situation, is capable of assuming responsibility for the watch. The watch has been properly relieved. The required entries have been made in the deck logbook, bridge bell book when in use, and the course recorder chart. Okay? Anything necessary. Deck logbook, okay, bridge bell book, gyro compass, okay, GPS logbook. Every single logbook that is required to be filled during your watch must be properly filled. Okay? Or competently filled. The officer in charge, number 4, of the navigational watch shall not hand over the watch to the relieving officer if there is reason to believe that the latter is not capable of carrying out the watchkeeping duties effectively, in which case the master shall be notified. Say for instance, you are the third mate of the ship. Just for example only, you are the third officer of the ship, and then the relieving officer, which is the second officer after your watch at midnight or noon, okay, is drunk. Okay? The second officer is drunk. Okay, then an officer is not capable if the guy is in, well, you are in influence of alcohol. It's difficult for you, so you inform your master, hey, second mate is abusing some kind of substance again. I think you should go and take over his watch. You inform the master. Number 5, the relieving officer shall ensure that members of the relieving watch are fully capable of performing their duties. If you're a deck cadet, let's all be honest, you are not capable of fully performing your duties because then again, you are a deck cadet, you lack experience. But it's a different story if you are a deck cadet and you have a, well, you have a broad experience. Let's just say you have already been a deck cadet for 12 months and then all of a sudden your company decides to, okay, just promote you on board as a third mate. But first, you will go as a deck cadet. That depends. Okay? In my situation, that's what happened to me. Okay? Relieving officers shall not take over the watch until their vision is fully adjusted to the light conditions. The oncoming officer, number 6, and the officer being relieved shall check the following navigational equipment, making entries as required. Recording equipment, operations with particular attention to RPM recorder or bell logger, and course recorder operation and entries. Gyro steering repeaters against the master gyro and the magnetic compass courses as indicated on the wheelhouse blackboard. Okay? Make entries as required. I mean, technically, if there are no significant change, let's say you didn't alter course, you don't need to, okay, alter course 010. Okay? If there's no alteration, of course, let's say you are in the course recorder. Your course is 000, okay? And you haven't changed any course, you don't put anything. But if you did change or if you did alter course, you write in your course recorder A/C or alter course 010. And then you put that in your GPS logbook, deck logbook, and bell book. Okay, that's one of the many examples. Okay, number 7. Okay, prior to taking over the watch, relieving officers shall satisfy themselves as to the ship's estimated or true position. Again, this is what I have said earlier. Okay, confirm that your ship is in its intended track. Okay, course and speed as well, and UMS controls as appropriate, and shall note any dangers to navigation expected to be encountered during the watch. Relieving officers shall satisfy themselves regarding the standing orders. If master has any kind of standing orders, let's just say security level 3, okay, contact me or maybe call me every 2 hours if the situation is okay or not. That depends on the master of the ship. Position, course, speed, and draft of the ship, prevailing and predicted tides, okay, currents, weather, visibility, and the effect of these factors upon course and speed. Sabihin mo or ask, or diba, meron ba tayong kuryente? Okay, magtanong ka kung ano ba tayo, may malakas ba ang hangin, malakas ba ang swell, okay? You ask at the deck officer that you are about to relieved. Okay? Navigational situation including but not limited to, okay? The operational condition, the errors of gyro, the presence of movement of ships, the conditions and hazards likely to be encountered, the possible effects of heel, trim, water density, trim and stability, okay? Number 9. After being relieved and before leaving the bridge, the officer being relieved shall sign the deck logbook for the watch period. This is very obvious. If you have your deck logbook, there is a box in the side that, okay, this is where I should, okay, sign my name. That, okay, I have taken over the watch or I have relieved the watch. Okay? If at any time the officer in charge of the navigational watch is to be relieved when a maneuver, i.e. during a traffic maneuver or change of course or speed, make sure that you inform this guy. Okay? Or other action to avoid any hazard is taking place, the relief of that officer shall be deferred until such action has been completed. Say for instance, you are altering a course, okay? Or you are in maneuvering and you have to change over the watch. Okay? Let's say you are in Panama. Okay? You are in Panama Canal. Okay? You are, let's just say, the locks, okay, are pumping water. You are inside the lock and then the waters are being pumped in. Okay? You wait for the water to come in, okay, or any kind of maneuver, okay, or any kind of action outside to finish before you actually relieve the other officer. If you are the third mate, wait. Okay, if you are the third mate and then you are about to relieve, let's say chief mate, you are about to relieve chief mate, you wait for any kind of maneuver or what's happening outside the ship to finish before you actually take over the watch. Okay? When both officers are satisfied that the aforementioned items, make sure that both of the officers are well informed. Okay, the relieving officer is well informed of the situation or the course, the speed, what's happening, the weather, the visibility. Aforementioned items are in order and understood. The oncoming officer shall formally take over the watch or the bridge watch. If the relieving officer refuses to take over the watch for any reason, the master shall be notified immediately. Say for instance, one of our cases is, well, our third officer, former third officer, was having some kind of medical issues. Okay, so again, at the time, I was very competent on the watch, the third officer watch. So what he did was, okay, Philip, you take over the watch of third mate, blah 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 blah. I was a deck cadet at the time. However, I have proven to my captain that I could handle the job, his job, okay, his third mate duties. So again, I was the deck cadet. I took over his watch. While on the other hand, medevac was called. Okay, was called. And then at the same time, my master told me, hey, Phil, if anything happens, just call me immediately. You know where I am. Okay? That's how I built my trust. Okay? I recommend all of you watching this video right now, I want you to do the exact same thing. Okay? Get the trust and respect of your master immediately once you get on board. Watch coaching videos like mine or the other content creators who are sharing this free knowledge to you. Okay? And because of that one, I was given a promotion. Okay? But I was still a cadet at the time. But then again, I was given a promotion and recommendation from the company. Oh, Philip is still a young guy, but he can do the job of the third mate very well. Okay? I want you to do the exact same thing. Just study and learn a lot. Information is free. Okay, information is free in YouTube and also when you go on board. Okay, information is free, ignorance is a choice. It's up to you. Okay, so then again, hope you learned something new. Be happy, be healthy, and most importantly, to God be all the glory. Keep safe, ingat kayo.